If you are one of those people who are always struggling with their diet, or you simply want to see better results with what you're doing, this video is going to be for you. It's no secret that dieting is hard, especially when it's your first time. This can lead to hours of time being wasted, and well, the longer you have to find what works, the easier it will be for you to give up. Now, I don't want to see you give up, I want to see you succeed. So that's why in this video I'm going to go over the top 7 worst diet mistakes for losing fat and building muscle, so you don't have to waste hours dieting and struggling to feel full after every meal. And the first thing that you should definitely avoid is using extreme methods from the start. One example is restricting too many calories, which is, as we know from another video, going to be bad for fat loss. And that's because you're simply going to gain the weight back that you've just lost. But this is not the only extreme method. We can list all the things like keto, paleo, and you name it, whatever extreme diet is going to supposedly help you lose weight. Now, I am not saying that these are all bad diets, I'm just saying that if you're just starting out, you want to adjust what you're already eating. More often than not, a lot of the people here on YouTube or any other platform will suggest this one magic diet first because it helped them lose weight, when in reality it doesn't really have to be that complicated for everyone. Making a big switch like this can often be overwhelming and can lead to you quitting the game. For example, if you're coaching newbies at the gym, you're not going to tell them to train 6 days per week right away. Instead, you're going to advise them to start slowly with something like 2 to 3 days per week. So making some slight changes, like eating less of a snack if you want to lose weight, or eating some more protein or vegetables, is already going to do wonders. So focus on making some slight changes first, and then if you don't see results for 1 to 2 months, you can look for a new method. And now this sort of is in line with the second mistake, which is believing that there is going to be one magic trick that's going to help you lose fat. Magic. In reality, a slight calorie deficit is all you need, and if you want to learn more about it, you can quickly watch this video right after this one. But when you're just starting out, or after you've already failed a couple of times with your diet, there's going to be a lot of internet marketers trying to sell you their one secret that's going to allow you to lose weight. I'm sure you've already seen the ads of V-Shred or another YouTuber that's trying to get your attention by giving you their secret methods to lose weight. Some examples I've seen are using apple cider vinegar, or using a magic fat burner that's supposedly going to lose your fat for you. There is no one simple magic trick that's going to allow you to lose weight quickly. If there was one, well, then everyone would walk around with a low body fat percentage. But what it eventually comes down to is that you need to eat less calories, focus more on foods that make you feel full, like vegetables and protein, and try to avoid things like pizza. Now, this doesn't mean that there aren't any things that you can do to make fat loss easier. For example, something I heard Chef Nippard say in a video is that you should try to use an inclusive diet instead of an exclusive diet. This basically means that you should try to prioritize eating things like different kinds of vegetables and a sufficient amount of protein first, and after that you can simply fill up the calories with other foods. And this basically brings me to my third point, and that is eliminating every so-called bad food. It's no secret that some foods make it harder to lose weight, so yes, if you're only drinking soda and eating pizza, it's definitely time to make a change. But if you're eating what you have to eat and you've still got some calories left, and you really want that cookie, no worries, you can just eat it. Now hold on, because I'm quickly going to touch the next mistake by giving you a small tip. And that is that there are low calorie options which are delicious and can provide you with the satisfaction of eating that cookie without adding too many calories. But to quickly explain why you shouldn't eliminate every bad food, it's because in most cases having a diet which is too restrictive is going to lead to binging or you giving into your cravings too much. Because let's be honest, it takes some willpower to avoid eating those things. Now you want to imagine your willpower like a glass of water. Every time you skip getting that cookie, you're going to lose a bit of willpower. And we can visualize this by draining some water. Each time we're going to avoid eating what we want, we lose some of that water and thus willpower. And eventually we will lose all of our willpower and start catching up to all those cravings. And this eventually leads to you eating more calories than you actually should. Now, if you're able to keep that willpower relatively stable by letting yourself be flexible every now and then and enjoy yourself within the range of your diet, you're going to be able to keep it up a lot easier. And now, to make things even more easier, we can utilize something which I just briefly said, and that's going to be eating foods that taste good but don't contain that much calories. And I personally think that Greg Doucette is the perfect example of this. He encourages people to use different kinds of food recipes and to make smarter choices so that you can still enjoy your diet and eating food. Now, Now of course these options are in most cases not as delicious, but they're still very good. I personally haven't put out a video yet talking about different recipes, but you can definitely find a lot of them online. Just simply do a quick Google or YouTube search. Now I might make a video like this in the future, so make sure to smash that like button and leave a comment down below if that's something that you're interested in. Now doing something as easy as this can make your diet much more sustainable, and you will definitely find that it lifts some weight off your shoulders. Now all of the mistakes that I mentioned earlier closely connect with this next one, and that is that you're keeping yourself too hungry all the time. Look, I know it sounds weird when I'm saying that you can still eat even after you've already consumed all of your calories. Simply don't fool yourself, because there are plenty of delicious options that you can still eat without adding too many calories to your diet. For example, eating carrots or some watermelon can definitely fill you up and only adds a few extra calories. And that's not going to be as big of a disaster as you might think. If you only do this every couple of days, it's not going to have that big of an impact. So drink some more water to fill up your stomach, eat some veggies and low-calorie fruits, and stop feeling too hungry all the time. Now before we go on, please remember to smash that like button for these cute pandas. It really helps out the channel, and if this video gets 40 likes, I'll put up some other cute pandas in the next video. Now another mistake that I see a lot of people make is that they focus too much on the small details. For example, only eating at a certain time because it's going to help you be more anabolic, or eating 6 times per day instead of 3. By the way, I am not making these things up. People are actually doing this. But doing this distracts you from those things which are still going to be the most important. Protein intake, sufficient amount of vegetables and fruit, and staying in a calorie deficit or surplus depending on your goals. And if you have these things in place, you first want to look at some other factors like your sleep and training, and when you've got those key components in place, you can start looking at the smaller details. But there is something called the 20-80% rule, which basically comes down to this. 20% of your efforts are going to lead to 80% of your results, so start focusing more on that 20% instead of focusing on the other 80%, which only gives you 20% of your results. Now I am not saying that going into detail is a bad thing, but do this only after you've got the basics right. Now if you're watching this video, you might be thinking that I don't want you to track anything, but this couldn't be further from the truth. I do believe that the goal is to eat in a way so that you don't have to track anything any longer, but in the beginning there's just no escaping it. You want to especially track your weight and especially take some pictures along the way to make sure you're still making progress. But in the beginning I want you to track your calories for only a couple of days, not your entire life, but just a couple of days or even weeks. This can serve as a huge eye-opener of how much calories everything contains and how much you're actually eating in a day. And you don't even have to stick to a calorie target. Just track your calories, collect some data on what you're usually eating in a day, and start evaluating where you can make some slight changes so that you can either start losing weight or build more muscle if you're, for example, not eating enough protein. Do this every now and then, and after a while you will know what choices to make, but this often comes in pair with the following mistake, which is getting too concerned with calories. If you are bringing a weight scale to literally just everywhere, or you're not eating anything unless you know what calories are in the food, you're going to really burn yourself out unless you actually enjoy doing it. I've personally tracked a lot of my calories, and like I said in my last tip, you want to track them in the beginning or every now and then to just get a general understanding of what you're eating. But believe me when I say that it's just not an enjoyable life if you're tracking everything that you're eating 24/7. Unless you're eating for a bodybuilding competition or you got a certain goal in mind to reach as fast as possible, counting every single calorie is just going to burn you out. On top of that, only counting calories is probably not going to give you the results that you want, because not every calorie is equal. And this is because things like fiber, nutrients, protein and other things like that will have a big impact on you feeling full or not. Because for example, eating more protein will already subconsciously cause you to eat less calories. So taking the approach of Jeff Nippard, where you first eat the things that you have to eat that will have the biggest impact on your hunger and general health, is going to be something you want to look at instead of counting every single calorie 24/7. Here is a quick list with all the mistakes, so make sure you avoid them. You can also always check out my training programs with the link in the description, and please remember to smash that like button to support the channel, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any tips. I will put the videos that I've mentioned in the description down below, and I will also put them in the end screen that you can see right here. Also, huge credits to Jeff Nippard because he inspired me to make this video. So make sure to check him out, and I'll see you guys later.